The word fair derives from the Latin feria, meaning feast days or holidays. In ancient Rome and in the medieval period, it had already become clear that a fair was much more than simply a market. Not only because the event took up a much larger area and brought together a great number of merchandise items, but also because the fair came along as an experience out of the ordinary, marked as a holiday on the calendar of the year. Fairs were often associated with religious recurrences and staged on the squares in front of churches. From time to time, they took over larger spaces and were even moved outside city walls to areas equipped for hosting vendors and buyers for the run of the event, which could be from 3 days to 50 or more. Regulations different from those in force ordinarily were enacted during the fair periods. The exemption from duties, suspension of legal proceedings, and the extension of the rights of asylum and hospitality. Special rules were applied by the Mastro Mercato, or fair master, a type of magistrate with duties which included regulating exchanges of merchandise and judging the merits of controversies which could arise at the time. The fair became a place for doing business, but also for socializing and entertainment, and soon spread throughout all of Europe. They mapped out a geography of commerce and enlivened the calendar with events which punctually drew traveling merchants, who were often organized in companies or caravans, gilde mercatorum, for their own defense from ambushes by thieves on the road or vassals and their lords of the lands they were traveling through. There are reports of fairs held in the kingdom of the Franks as early as 600, but they developed in more substantial ways between 1100 and 1200. In this way, the map of these events was drawn from France, especially in the Champagne region, in Germany, Flanders, Russia, and in Italy, in the northern region of Tuscany, and in Puglia, as well as beyond the borders of Europe, on the great trade routes in the Middle and Far East. Shipments of wine, livestock, textiles, pigments, metal objects, skins, and implements for work and farming were traded, with a degree of specialization of the events according to the merchandise dealt with, at the markets in Provence, Nîmes, Bourges, and Beaucaire, Frankfurt am Main, Danzig, Pavia, Ferrara, Milano, and Bologna. Many of the trade fairs in France revolved around wine and livestock, whereas in Central Europe trade was more in textiles and linen or cotton clothing and household goods, and the fairs in Gonzaga and Tarquinia, begun in 1400 and still running, featured agricultural products and implements. From the medieval period onwards, and especially in the area of the marine republics of Italy and during the Renaissance, came the rise of fairs as a site for entertainment and meetings of people from near and far away for creating a holiday to join with commerce.